right, Tom, we're getting the refreshed Model S and X. This is exciting. Well, it's not a crazy new generation of Model S and X, but these are the flagship vehicles for Tesla, and they're giving us a little more something, okay, of their top trim. So, I mean, what have you seen so far? What are your first impressions?
My first impressions are the wheels. That's the first thing I go to every time. Wheels. Any vehicle I'm looking for, wheels. And my gosh, the new 21s that came out are fantastic. They're what are they called? They're called the Valerium wheels. I haven't stopped looking at them.
Let me just say, I love the front bumper. Just off screen here, the new fascia of the Model S Plaid specifically. The all-wheel drive dual motor version did not get a fascia change, but the Plaid did.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks absolutely, I just love it. It's a little more aggressive.
Yeah. It's a similar thing you did for the 3. So the new, when the Highland 3 Performance came out, it also had a unique fascia. So it has like little arrow inserts on the corners. Now the long range, all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, they don't have that. So I guess it'll be the same thing for the S now.
But yeah, so in terms of powertrain, as we know it, this is essentially the exact same powertrain that the previous generation, if we're going to call this a new generation, fourth generation Model S and X, have. And so you're still getting that 410 mile range, top 1.99 second 0 to 60 with rollout, 1,020 horsepower. So it's still a beast. I'm kind of surprised Tesla didn't try to turn things up a notch. I mean, you have the Porsche Taycan that is sweeping the floor on the track. It beats the Model S Plaid on the 0 to 60, the YSAC package. You get the Lucid Air Sapphire. You go elsewhere, you get the Xiaomi SU7. The Model S Plaid is no longer the king, in a sense.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for, some more mechanical upgrades. Like, we got aesthetic upgrades. We have functional upgrades, if you count that for the interior lighting.
Right.
I was hoping for, better charging, based off for I-90 Surge. The Taycan is a beast at charging.
Right.
This should be aiming for that, but, nothing yet.
A very good point. I mean, we have the Cybertruck with the 800-volt split pack. None of this 48-volt architecture, none of this is being carried over to the Model S and X. But, maybe that's a good thing for a lot of people. I mean, the Model S and X were already good vehicles, but in terms of that charging aspect, right, you do compare it to the Lucid Air of any trim. You do compare it to the Porsche Taycan of any trim. Yeah, the Model S really falls behind. But on to the fun stuff. Let's not be negative. So we are getting a new interior, as you guys could see on screen here. New intro when you get into your Model S and X. This is not something you see on any other Tesla models or previous generations, except the Cybertruck. Of course, again, the Cybertruck, you get the Cybertruck. That is an option that you can have it display as soon as you get inside. And we're getting this really cool animation for the Model S and X as well. And of course, you're getting full spectrum color of ambient lighting. I'm a little jealous. We got our Rivians, Tom, and you get to pick like 7, 8 colors maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we have red for Halloween. And
right. Oh, you don't even get red standard. You only get red for Halloween. Only get red for Halloween.
I miss it.
Hilarious. Now, of course, similar interior as the previous generations of the Model S and X. With the Plaid, of course, you get the bucket seats. And I mean, in terms of everything else as we've seen, it is pretty much the same. Same speaker system, same rear screen, same setup. It does have a front bumper camera. That is new. And that is, of course, Tesla's pushing towards full autonomy and full self-driving. And we've noticed that with hardware for, and of course, these next generation of Teslas, the Model 3 Highland, the Model Y Juniper, the Cybertruck, and now the Model S and X have front bumper cameras. But kind of crazy. Let's kind of jump into the order now, and then I'm curious, Tom, what configuration you'd go with.
Oh man, well, I definitely would grab the 21-inch wheels for sure, and they look good. So they have aero covers. You can see those aero inserts like the 22 or 20-inch warps on the Model 3 Highland Performance. They're individual aero inserts from the looks of it, so you can pull those out, and it's a really aggressive look. It looks like it would be on a track pack type of setup. It's not super open, so like brake cooling might still be an issue. They'll have to obviously see it on a track, like on the Nürburgring or something like they've been testing. But it looks like it could be a viable track use wheel, and it looks so good, man. So I definitely get those wheels for one. They came with the new blue color as well.
Yeah, this blue looks sweet in the in-person pictures. They look even better. Of course, for some time we've been kind of seeing the blue on the road, some Tesla testing vehicles, but yeah, now it's an option. Frost blue metallic for $2,500, and of course with FSD it's free included.
If you want to go over the other wheel option too, the 19-inch wheels, they also have an aero insert too. It looks pretty close to the Highland one as well, but it's basically a star insert, and then let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5 other inserts that's almost exactly like the Highland Performance one. But for the Performance Highland, they're all individual ones. It's like a star plus individual ones. So definitely looks like a max range. Yeah, perfect. There we go. So you have the 5 spokes for the Highland. They're all individual ones. Then you have the more difficult, from experience, the more difficult smaller inserts along the side. They did it way better for this. So they're all what looks like seemingly easy ones to remove. And you get pretty much full aero coverage, though. I'm pretty sure you get full range with those. I mean, it shows up to 410 for the long range with those wheels.
Interesting. Now, also something we mentioned before we started filming is that, so the previous generation Plaid, you had to get the track pack to unlock the 200 mile per hour speed limit, the top speed. Otherwise, it's software limited. I think that's Tesla trying to be safe. It's a $15,000 to $20,000 option, I believe, depending on what you get here. And again, that unlocks the 200 mile per hour speed. Now, we've noticed on here, the configurator, if you do get the Plaid and you just get these, Valerium wheels, you already get the 200 mile per hour top speed. Actually, an indicated Plaid top speed requires a paid hardware upgrade. Until this upgrade, the top speed will be 163. So they advertise it as 200 right here with these wheels, but then I guess you would still need this track pack upgrade. Otherwise, it's 163 miles per hour. Interesting. Versus 149.
149 to, well, it should be 163 from an advertising standpoint.
Right. Interesting that they say it like that. Still standard price, $99,990 for the Plaid, and then $84,990 for the all-wheel drive version. But yeah, kind of insane. You want to go over the Model X now?
Yeah, let's do it. Awesome.
So these wheels on the Model X, what do you think?
Oh man, they look so good. They almost look, I saw a tweet earlier that they look like they take hints from Unplugged performance wheels.
I agree.
Yeah, those look pretty good. They almost remind me of dang, which truck had them? I wonder if the Sierra EV has wheels like this. Hold on, quick Google.
But for those who are curious, I will pull these up. So these are the Unplugged performance wheels. Most notably, most people might be familiar with the CyberHex wheels. And you can see here, right, these UPO5s, like very almost similar design as this kind of wheel here from Tesla. Hopefully other people are seeing what we're seeing.
2.5 060. Again, hardware-wise, powertrain-wise, it's the same as the last one. This goes for both S and X. They claim to have a bit more room in the back in the third row. They had, let me make sure I'm using their words.
Yeah, in terms of interior of what a current Model S and X pretty much has been carried over to these new generations.
They say more space for third row occupants and cargo for the Model X. That I'm curious about. I want to see where they saved on space from, maybe a frame standpoint or seating. Maybe it's lower. I want to see what they did to create more space back there. It's not terrible. It's not huge, but it's not terrible. I've sat back there for a trip on one. It's still pretty good. But interested to see how much space. Maybe it's the sub trunk using a bit of that space. Who knows?
Right. We'll have to update our Tesla models review.
Yeah.
Get a full idea of what the Tesla lineup is like. Now we got the updated Model S and X.
Mm-hmm.
But let's kind of go into the configurator here. You see, starting at $89,990. And of course, you get the plaid $104,990 instead. And of course, unlike the Model S plaid, you don't get the seats and a new bumper and a new fascia front and rear bumper. Just get those red calipers, it seems. And of course, tri-motor.
And one thing to note too, from the all-wheel drive to plaid upgrade for both, previously you could have the round wheel standard, and then you can purchase the yoke for an additional price. Now, if you have the all-wheel drive, you can only get the circular wheel. The yoke is only an option on the plaid. It's still a paid option, I believe. You don't check really quick. I believe it's a paid option still.
Yep,
$1,000. So it's on top of the plaid upgrade. It's $1,000 for that. You cannot get the yoke on a non-plaid anymore. Well, pretty interesting. Honestly, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're getting all-wheel drive, it means it's going to be a commuter car. If you're getting a plaid, then you're like, okay, maybe this guy wants to actually use the speed.
Right.
Having driven a Model X extensively with the yoke, I much prefer the round wheel anyway. So
Yeah, I wonder what they were thinking when they first introduced that. It's nice to see Tesla walk back.
Yeah, it would work better if they had steer-by-wire on that. Better tighter ratio, but tighter steering ratio. But the regular ratio, trying to do this, make a U-turn back into a spot, you can't do that with the yoke, at least not easily.
Now, unlike the new Model Y, I do not see an indicator, so it does not seem like they're bringing that over to the other sexy models for this updated model year. Yeah, I don't see anything. So, it seems that it's just there for the Model Y, their mainstream vehicle. That was really their excuse as to why they gave the Model Y an indicator, because it's more mainstream and that more people would be interested in it. And they don't want to ruin that experience. But
that's funny. One single signal stock in the entire lineup,
right,
on one side.
But yeah, stealth gray, pearl white, diamond black, which looks amazing in person. Frost blue, ultra red, lunar silver. Love silver.
Oh, lunar silver is so good.
Yeah. And these wheels. So we got the Parahelix wheels. Also, you see these aero covers. They look similar to that Model S wheel, but not exactly the same.
Yeah, it looks just about there.
So we have them magnetites, and then go back, get the Parahelix.
And looking at a few of the other things they changed, we have apparently a quieter cabin. So they've improved their road noise cancellation and their active noise cancellation. So I'm guessing some improvements on the dampening of the cabin, and then it maybe just be dampening, but it could actually be, ANC changes. That would be pretty cool, because it does have, kind of like, your AirPods, they have active noise cancellation for road noise and wind noise and stuff like that. In addition to that, we also have new bushings and suspension. So I wonder if we are getting kind of an apples to apples, air suspension version of the adaptive suspension we got in the 3NY for Highland and Juniper. They changed their suspension, so it's not air suspension for those, but it's adjustable. You can kind of dynamically change it. And so you had that option in a way for S and X for a long time because they're air suspension, but looks like they've made some adjustments for that too. And we have adaptive driving beams, which I assume are matrix lights. It's probably what that means. I'd assume now. I'll have to look on the site and see. But matrix lights are now coming from the factory. Oh, yep, there we go. Reacting conditions of the vehicle's enhanced visibility, reducing glare. Yep, matrix lights. Awesome. I wonder if that'll come in a software update on other ones. Do you know if they had the hardware like Model 3 and Y had for a long time, or?
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm a former Model 3 owner. I have not owned an S, so I wouldn't know.
So yeah, every Tesla since 2023 has had matrix lights.
Okay, so hopefully this will come via an update. Maybe it already did. I remember seeing something coming for 3 and Y to get the Matrix update, I believe. So hopefully the same happened or will happen to S and X. And then they say the exterior for the Plaid is optimized for high speed stability. The new fascia and the new rear bumper probably have the bumper probably has some. Oh yeah, definitely has some aero on the back. So kind of works like, sports cars or even professional stock racing cars. They have diffusers on the bottom to help with airflow. Looks like they have a kind of little mini diffuser on the back and the fender there, as well as some downforce adjustments on the front. So the more aggressive look on the front actually helps with downforce, which is huge.
Interesting.
Usually if you're doing, track days, or like they were testing on the Nürburgring a few weeks ago, we spotted it, you need downforce. To want better grip for your front tires, you need downforce on the front really bad. People will put, extended lips and stuff on the front fascia to get that downforce. This new fascia definitely adds some downforce to the front. So you'll probably get better, to their point, stability, and that'll probably come in the form of steering. You'll probably have less understeer and oversteer. Definitely less understeer. This is my racing nerd coming out here. But it's looking like a pretty good stock, OEM track car. So you need the track pack to reach the 200 miles an hour. We found that out in the little fine print. But you definitely get better cooling for the brakes, I'd assume, going from the arachnids, the 21-inch arachnids were pretty thin, so hopefully those were good. They had thick spokes, but there weren't that many spokes, so maybe same for cooling performance on the brakes. But yeah, track pack will still give you the car ceramic brakes and the better wheels and things like that for you to get that 20 mile an hour upgrade. That Lunar Sealer looks so good.
Yeah.
Photo.
I do want to walk back my statement about the all-wheel drive not having a new fascia. It does slightly, very tiny change, but it is still effectively the same to the untrained eye. But you'll see here, available 2 to 4 weeks for, at least for me, of course, depending on your area. But I do live near a Tesla service center, so there's one nearby, and it kind of gives you an idea of how soon they're going to be shipping these out. So very, very soon for the all-wheel drive for the Plaid, same 2 to 4 weeks. But for the Model X, I did notice it is a little longer. So not sure what else has changed there. Of course, the Model S and X share that same production line. And not much has changed underneath, but
it varies with your configuration. So a perfectly, bone stock, if you will, Model X and S are both 2 to 4 weeks. For me, if I make one change, like a white interior or a one wheel change, the Model X goes to 7 to 9 weeks for my zip.
So there you go. The wheels, so it's those wheels. So if you order the Machina wheels, that's when you end up getting that 7 to 9 weeks. Otherwise, Model S or X near me, 2 to 4, or for a lot of you who are in more metropolitan areas, 1 week.
And we'll probably see it grow smaller as they start shipping these out. Like we're just now seeing them arrive to dealerships and stuff, seeing them spot on trucks and stuff. So we give it like a month. We'll probably have some pretty quick turnaround for these.
Yeah. Now on to kind of, I guess, comparisons about other vehicles as we kind of end this episode out. I'm just still surprised that Tesla didn't try to fully revamp the Model S and X. I mean, we know how well the R1S is doing, and it's crazy to me that the Model X still continues to sell super well. The R1S and Model X not too far off. You even compare the things like the EV9, and soon we'll be getting the Gravity in full production. But particularly that Model S, I mean, it's the same, like, pretty much body style for, the last, like, going on 15 years at this point.
Yep.
It's been a while.
It literally is. It's a timeless design. People call it timeless design. I do agree, but
I agree.
I'd love for some redesign. And again, going back to the hardware side, like some real changes from that would be so good. I know they're focused on cranking production for 3 and Y. I get it, but for what would probably be a flagship set of vehicles or the premier set of vehicles, I'd love to see better performance. But maybe this is a mid-cycle. Maybe we'll see something else in a year and a half from now, 2 years.
Or maybe Tesla's done. Maybe they're like, they found their position in the market. It's not broken. Don't fix it. Kind of keep things stable. I mean, they're banking on robotaxi, so maybe they're like, we're not going to even make Model S and X in the future. We're just going to have a bunch of Model Ys and robo taxis. So why even bother?
Maybe. You never know.
All right, you want to end this episode out?
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, or let us know what you think in the comments about the refresh. Do you like the wheels? Because I do. Do you like the new paint? Do you like the options for or additions for the interior, like the ambient lighting? So let us know what you think. And thanks for watching.